What's this? It's divorce papers. Remember I said I had a surprise for you? Consider it a retirement gift from me. Oh, by the way, that money is a settlement. You can't be serious. My name is Susan. I just turned 60 and recently retired as a part-time housewife. I live with my husband Russ and we have 2 adult kids, Tom and Emily, each walking their own path. Tom is married and lives with his wife, Courtney. Emily is also married and has grandchildren, but she and her husband moved to a distant city due to his job transfer. We don't see Emily's family much anymore, but they seem to be doing well when we catch up over the phone. Maybe it's my age, but lately, I've been reminiscing a lot. Life was a whirlwind, to say the least. I met Russ through an arranged date. I wasn't unlucky in love or anything, but I had a fear of men. My first boyfriend, after starting my job, cheated on me. He was the boss at my company. I ended up having an affair with him, someone who was an admired figure to us new hires. Eventually, he betrayed me. And when I tried to talk about it, he threatened to ruin my life. That experience gave me a fear of men. That's when I met Russ. Russ's mother and my mom were childhood friends, and they were very close. I wasn't too keen on the idea, but Mom insisted, so I gave in. Russ was neither handsome nor particularly sociable. He seemed like the type women wouldn't usually go for, but maybe that's why I could open up to him. Over time, I found myself looking into his eyes when we talked. I found myself slowly falling for Russ. So we started dating and got married a year later. Tom was born the following year and Emily came the next. Life was hectic, but I remember it being lively and happy. However, when Tom was in 7th grade, something happened. Russ was hardly home. When he was always on his phone. I felt suspicious. I grabbed his phone when he wasn't looking and saw pictures of a woman and their conversations. Yes, Russ was having an affair. Before I could say anything, Russ spoke. Susan, I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't cut it. Do you know how I feel right now? I thought you were different. My feelings were a mix of anger, hatred, and sadness, and I didn't know what to do. Just go, Russ. It's not what you think. I love you, Susan. How can you say that now? You betrayed me. I'm truly sorry. I'll cut ties with her and change my ways. And you think I'll believe that? I get that you can't trust me now, but I'll do everything I can to make you believe that I've changed. Don't leave me, Susan. I need you. If he needed me, why did he betray me? Although I was unsettled, I found myself saying, fine, but there won't be a next time. Susan, thank you. And just like that, I put a close to a big chapter in our family's life. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I've forgiven Russ or trust his words again, but if I divorced him now, it would mean taking the kids' dad away from them. The first thought that came to mind was how unfair it would be for them to grow up with a single mom. So for me, divorce wasn't an option. Truth be told, I still have feelings for Russ. Being cheated on sucks, but I find myself wanting to be with him. After that, Russ seemed like a changed man. He comes home early every day and actually spends time with the kids. It seems he's really turned a new leaf. And so, life went on smoothly. The kids grew up strong, became adults, and started lives of their own. And they eventually moved out of our home. With the kids gone, it's just me and Russ. We've been so consumed with parenting that it feels strangely lonely now. But just the 2 of us makes it feel like the early days of marriage, a bit embarrassing even. So we've been enjoying quality time as a couple, thriving both at work and off hours. And next month, I'll be turning 60. Lost in thought, the phone rings. Hi. Hey Mom, you free next Sunday? I am. What's up? You sound serious. Well, you're hitting 60, right? I wanted to do something nice for you while I can. How about we celebrate your retirement with a nice dinner somewhere? What a wonderful son I have. I'm so touched I could cry. Thank you. I'll let Russ know. I'll tell Dad. You and Dad just come as you are. We live in the same house, you know. But okay, looking forward to it. And so I hung up. That night I talked to Russ about next Sunday. Russ, you heard about next Sunday? Yeah, our son's throwing us a retirement celebration. He's something, isn't he? Thanks to you, Susan. It's not just me. He's your son, too. Thank you. And get this, he's planning a surprise, too. Really? He didn't mention that. Can't wait. Yeah, me too. Finally, the awaited Sunday comes. Russ and I arrive at the agreed-upon restaurant. Tom and his wife, Courtney, had arrived before us. As we enter the restaurant and head towards the seat Tom mentioned over the phone, "Over here!" Tom waves enthusiastically. We exchange casual greetings with Courtney next to him. You guys are early? Yeah, had some preparations to make. We make small talk as the multi-course meal starts arriving. Let's dig in. Looks delicious. Tom dives into his meal with childlike enthusiasm. Shall we eat too, Russ? We all started eating. The food here was exceptionally delicious. Maybe it tasted even better because of the retirement party Tom had thrown for us. After we finished our meals, the atmosphere was calm again. I'm going to smoke a cigarette. With that, Russ stepped outside. Tom and his wife then approached us with envelopes in hand. Congratulations on your retirement. They handed over 2 envelopes. One had Emily's name on it, and the other had Tom's name. What's all this? One is from Emily and her husband, and the other is our gift to you, they explained. Russ had mentioned a surprise, but being there and actually receiving it moved me to tears. Thank you. Go ahead and see what's inside, Tom encouraged. I began by opening Emily's envelope. It contained $500 and a heartfelt letter. It expressed regret for not being able to attend in person and offered words of gratitude. I couldn't stop my tears. As a mother, nothing could be more rewarding than being celebrated by my own children. Actually, this is from your dad, Tom added. From Russ? Yeah, this restaurant is quite expensive, you see, so Dad said to use this money from him. It looks like he's also grateful to Mom. Really? I never thought Russ would still think of me like that. I went ahead and checked the other envelope. Inside were lots of bills and a letter. Upon counting, there was a whopping $2,000. It must have been hard for him to gather such an amount. I was about to read the letter from Russ, but what was inside wasn't a letter at all. I threw the envelope in front of Tom. Hey, Mom, that's harsh. We went through all this trouble. Harsh? Do you even know what's harsh? Look inside. Tom picked up the envelope and checked the contents. His eyes widened the moment he saw the paper inside. What is this? It wasn't a letter. It was divorce papers. Just then, Russ came back. What is the meaning of this? What do you mean? They're divorce papers. What are you thinking? I told you there was a surprise, right? This is my retirement gift to you. Oh, and that money is a settlement. You can't be serious. This is not a pleasant surprise at all. I've provided for you all this time. You have no reason to complain. I'm going to start a new life. Dad, that's too cruel. What have you been thinking about Mom and us? Of course, I still care about you guys, but I can't see Susan as a woman anymore. Just sign it and submit it to the court. Wait a minute. Ignoring everything else, Russ walked out of the restaurant as if he had no more business there. What a case of emotional abuse this was. Stunned, Tom apologized to me. Why are you the one apologizing? Well, I'm the one who suggested celebrating your retirement, and it turned into this mess. I wanted to make today special for Mom, and I ended up ruining it. Sorry. Don't worry about it, but what should we do now? As I pondered, Tom spoke again. Look, I don't want to bring this up at a time like this, but would you consider living with us? I don't think you should make such a decision so quickly just because of what happened today. No, Courtney and I have talked about it. We've always wanted to live with our parents someday. Courtney is on board too. Turning to Courtney, I saw her smiling and nodding. What a kind-hearted son and daughter-in-law. Thank you, but let me think about it. I'll go home for today. I really appreciate it. With that, I left the restaurant. At that point, I couldn't care less about Russ. I wanted to get back at him somehow. I thought about what I could do to help with that, but I couldn't come up with anything. I decided to call my mother-in-law, Martha, and fill her in on what happened. Hello? Martha, it's been a while. Oh, Susan! How have you been? I've been good. Actually, I have something to tell you. I recounted the day's events to Martha. Her initially cheerful voice turned somber as she listened. I'm so sorry, Susan. My own son did something terrible to you. As a woman, it's infuriating. All I can do is apologize. It's not your fault, Martha. Then Martha said something unexpected. Do you think it might have been Russ? What? I saw someone who looked like Russ at the department store with another woman. I didn't think he would have an affair at this age, but maybe it was him. I'll look into it. Thank you. I hung up and immediately contacted a private investigator. The investigation would start in 3 days, based on Russ's usual routine. A week after the investigation began, I received a call. Sure enough, Russ was having an affair. They handed me a report and several photos as evidence, and to my shock, it was a woman Russ had an affair with in the past. I had to wonder if they had kept in touch all along. I called Russ and together with Martha, confronted him. What's going on? Did you file for divorce already? And why is Mom here? I haven't filed yet, but I need to talk to you. I'm going to sue you for damages. Damages? For what? For having an affair? I haven't had any affair. I showed Russ the photos from the private investigator. His face turned pale. I just ran into her. You expect me to believe you just ran into an old flame multiple times? I haven't met her multiple times. Do you want to look at the dates on these pictures? You've met more than once, so don't lie. Russ fell silent, and that's when Russ just lost it. You're such a nag! Why don't you just leave me already? I'm not paying any alimony, period. That's when Martha raised her voice. Cut the nonsense! Do you even realize what you've done to this family? Act like a father for once. Mom? Help me out here! Help you? You've even damaged my friendship with Susan's mom. You're no son of mine. Don't ever show your face again. Hearing this, Russ slumped his shoulders and agreed to the alimony. So, Russ and I got divorced. Russ had actually broken it off with his mistress once, but apparently they bumped into each other and reignited their affair. Because it was the second time he cheated, I got a hefty alimony. As for Russ, he's drowning in debt, working all hours to pay it back. As for his relationship with the mistress, she wasn't keen on being with a debt-laden man, and took off. Russ lost his family, mistress, and money in the whole ordeal. My revenge was a roaring success, and I couldn't be more satisfied. As for me now, I'm living with my son and his wife. I'm feeling the joy every day as new grandchildren have been born. I'm looking forward to a peaceful life with Tom and his family.